Hello? Hello? Ayun. Hello? Okay na po ba? Okay na po ba? Hello? Okay na po ba? Can you hear me now po? Okay, sige po. I think may problema yata pagka naka-off yung cam. Ayun. So, okay na po ba? Pasensya na po. I think hindi yata gumagana pagka naka-off yung camera. So, ayun po. Ibig sabihin pala, hindi nyo na dinig yung sinasabi ko kanina. Ayun. Yan. So, iniisip ko kung mag-Tagalog ako kung wala namang foreigner. Is there any foreigner here in the audience, in the viewers? Sige po, ulitin ko na lang po. Okay, sige. Ganito na lang. Magta-Taglish na lang ako. May mga sasabihin ako na English, may mga sasabihin ako na Tagalog. Kasi baka yung recording may mga manood na mga foreigners eh. Baka hindi nila maintindihan pagka later sila nanood. Shout out to Abe Twin Hearts. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Filipino language because I cannot see your profile yet. So if every time I see a profile that I am not familiar with, I have this tendency to think that it is a non-Filipino audience. That's why I am tempted to speak in English because yeah, several days ago, I have this audience who happened to be an American or from other nationality, and she said that I should speak in English. And actually, it's not a problem with me. So I just want everybody to feel comfortable. Okay, so I'll just speak in English because I don't know if anyone will come in and then he or she may not understand what I'm saying if I speak in Tagalog or in Filipino. So I'll just speak in English because this topic is quite important. Okay, for this week, this is the combination of topics for Tuesday and Wednesday. Uh, Shout out to Umahat Vlog. So starting supposed to be yesterday, we have a new subtopic. It is about rationalization. So by giving simple definition of rationalization, rationalization is something like uh, a justification or an alibi or some kind of reasoning to a particular situation. Good evening to Diane and Gems Wellness Essentials. So for this week, we're going to talk about this rationalization, which according to Tony Robbins can prevent us from doing step 2. Because remember that step 1 is writing the disturbances, right? Writing the challenges, writing the problems, writing the anything that bothers you. And then step 2 is supposed to be the solutions, the answers, or the workarounds to address step 1. And then step 3 is that making an action plan, right? But according to Tony Robbins, there are times when we cannot do step 2, we cannot proceed with doing the solutions, go all the way to the action plan, because sometimes the solutions seems too big or seems too complicated. So the solution for that is to use what he calls the power of now, and at the same time the power of chunking. It is like for example, let us have this solution that I have experienced said for a few days since Monday. So my problem was I got this very slow internet connection. So that our discussion will involve that issue, internet connection. Like for example, supposed to be my step 1 is I want to deliver content to my followers or to the audience, right? So with that content, what are the resolutions or the solution that I need to do, or one of the things that I need to have? So for step 2, one of the solutions should be the internet connection or the internet access, right? So but sometimes, according to Tony Robbins, we fail to execute those items that we write in step 2, like for example, the internet access. Sometimes we have these challenges to achieve those solutions for us to come up with step 3, which is the action plan. So according to him, we can simplify the solution so that it will be easier for us to address it or to execute it. So with my experience with internet connection, what I can do to simplify it for me to be able to execute that all the way to the action plan is to make the solution much simpler, or to make my number 1. Number 1 is the content, right? So that is my actually that is my goal, or it can be a challenge, or it can be a disturbance. It depends. But for, for me to be able to deliver content in step 1, all I ha- no, you don't hear any sound. You don't hear any sound because I am hearing my voice. I am hearing my voice. Do you all have problems hearing my voice? How about the others? Can you hear my voice? Because the okay. So I think the problem is just with the internet signal, because I noticed that during the time that I got these internet issues, internet connection problem, there seems to be some difficulty connecting with the Bluetooth device with the internet access. So that is my observation. So even if I have internet access at certain times, like for example, in the past sessions, there are times that the sound in the Bluetooth won't go through. So I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the connectivity. But I'm glad that it is okay now. Um, I think it has something to do with the signal, because my bandwidth. my internet bandwidth right now is quite okay. Maybe it has something to do with the connection with the Bluetooth because I am using a Bluetooth earbuds to to connect for the sound. Uh, hold on for a while. I'm going to use a headset or an earplugs. I'll be back. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'm using an earplugs. Is it okay now? Can you hear me? Walang sound? Wait. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Is it okay now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you answer po kung if you can hear me? Can you specifically answer me po? Wala? Walang sound? How about the rest po? All of you cannot hear me? Because I can hear my voice po in my earplugs. At ganun. I can hear po in my phone. At ganun. Can you hear me? So walang sound? Ay, ano po ba? At ganun. So, can you hear me or not po? Okay na po ba? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, so I think if I enlarge the screen, there seems to be a problem with the sound. So I'm just going to have this screen on its regular size na lang. But I'm using earbuds po with this one. So it is connected via Bluetooth. So okay, I'm not sure which portion yung natigil tayo. Which portion po yung natigil tayo? Would you know kung anong portion po yung natigil tayo? Saan po yung portion na hindi nyo nadinig? Okay, siguro doon na lang ulit sa, for example, from step 1, step 2, di ba? So step 1, you have this problem, do you have a goal? So the goal is to deliver content. And supposed to be, step 2 is the solution or the answer, which is to have internet access. But sometimes we encounter problems like what we have now, so we cannot deliver step 2. So if we can't deliver step 2, we cannot make step 3. Step 3 is creating an action plan. So for us to deliver step 2, what we can do with step 1 is to simplify it so that it will require simple step 2. So like for example, what experience since Monday, I have problems with the internet connection. So the solution that I have think of is to make my content much simpler. So isn't it that sige po. Okay. So yun po we're discussing yung um, tawag dito yung rationalization kasi according to Tony Robbins, according to the speaker, rationalization is sometimes preventing us from achieving our goal because rationalization can be can give us a bad course of action or can sometimes prevent our goal from being achieved. So what we can do to avoid rationalization is for us to make the solution much more simple. Or to, like for example, if we have a very big solution, what we can do is divide the solution into smaller items. Like for example, the solution in my situation is the internet, right? For me to do step 1, the content. Since there's a problem with the internet, what I can do is to make my content much more simpler. So I can divide my content into smaller parts so that if there will be some problems with the internet access, I will not be affected. I will not be affected much. So something like that. So that is what you can do also with your own situation. Like for example, if your content is like for example, it's like cooking. You are a food blogger, something like that. And then the solution for you is to have internet, right? So that you can make some FB live so that you can live stream that you are cooking. So sometimes there's a problem with your internet. So what you can do is to make your content, the cooking, the food, much more much more simpler to share or to upload. So for example, you have a challenge with your internet connection and you are not sure if the connection, if the access is will allow your content, your cooking. What you can do is to make the ingredients, like for example, um, I think it was one of our colleagues, parang tatay. So a few days ago, he made an FB live. So in the FB live, he is demonstrating how to cook caldereta. So for him to do that in a short amount of time, what paring tatay did is to he already cooked the potatoes, the carrots. So it's like without showing us, without showing the audience that he already cooked the potatoes. And then by the time that he is preparing or heating the beef or the meat, he just um, he just mixed the cooked vegetables. So that that action made his demonstration much simpler, much faster. So it doesn't eat much internet connection. So that is an example of simplifying the solution because it will take much time. It will take much internet bandwidth if he will cook the vegetable on that same moment. So I hope you are getting the idea of how to do your content. So is it clear with you? Is it clear with you on how to do it? Like for example, if you have challenge with your internet, you can simplify or you can divide your content into smaller parts. So the example with that one is what paring tatay did. He just cook some vegetables beforehand in advance, and then he just mix the cooked vegetables to the meat he is cooking. So in that way, his efforts will be much lesser. So that is one example of simplifying the solution. Because according to Tony Robbins, sometimes even if we have the solution, sometimes we are afraid to do it because it seems so big, it seems a lot of effort to do. So his suggestion is for us to come up with smaller solution so that it will be easier for us to make an action. So I hope you get the meaning or the idea of this one because we really have to overcome the challenges of executing the solution. So that is the idea for this week. How to simplify things. And we just apply it based on the resources like for example, the internet access. Do you understand po what I am trying to say on how to do the solution in situations like that wherein the internet is really a problem? I'm sorry for the signal because I think it has something to do with the connection. But the internet is good. It is just with the Bluetooth connectivity. Juby Vlog, were you able to listen to the discussion? Juby Vlog. Yes. So I hope you understand my explanation. I hope you understand my explanation because uh, I just use the internet connection as example because that is my problem yesterday. So even I got some idea on about it because sometimes we want to make an FB live, right? So the problem is our internet connectivity is very limited. So that is why it is advisable. Okay lang po yun. So that's why, okay lang po yun, UB Vlog. So that is why it is advisable that we make simple solution just for us to finish the action. So that is the advice. Because if we're going to like for example to do the cooking from step one up to the last, it will take a lot of time and people might lose interest in watching your FB live. Hi to Dulce 11. So okay lang po 'yon. So you can just watch this recording later on. But I'm really sorry for the signal kasi I think the Bluetooth connectivity has something to do with the breaking signal. But my internet connection now is quite good. So let us so with that one, like for example, if we are able to do that, breaking solutions into smaller items, we can easily make some kind of habit. Because um, early on, it is advisable for us to create or to make some habit because those habits can really give us some good patterns as to what we can do for us to be successful eventually. Because I think from time to time, our discussion will involve some kind of habit making. So it's like we will try to establish some habits. Like if you will look at the bottom part of the middle screen, you can see there that there's journaling, there's scheduling, and then what else? There is making an action. So it's really important for us to have some habits, and it's really advisable. I have heard different people talk about building habits because even us, do you remember that for example, if you have to go to the grocery or if you have to go to the store, it will be much easier for you to remember the items to buy if you have if you have the habit of writing notes, right? So you won't forget any item that you need to buy if you have the habit of notes taking. So something like that. So in everything that we do, establishing some habit culture will really help us to achieve our goals. Because from time to time, when we look at the notes, we are reminded of the things that we need to do. And it really saves a lot of time for us. And we don't necessarily have to think about what things to do, so something like that, because we just look at the notes and then we can remember what are the things to be done. So in the succeeding streams, I will also guide you on how to do some scheduling or using some apps in making those schedules. We will be using Google Sheet and also maybe workflow. We can do that. Okay. So, okay. Anything else that you would like to bring up or to feedback? So the cooking content creator, the food content creator is just an example. So like for example, if your content is about travel, you can think of other ways. Like for example, uh, your content is about travel, right? So about the things that you are that you would like to blog, and then the solution for that is of course to research or to go to that particular place. So maybe to make the solution simpler, you can try in the beginning, like for example, you can try to go a simpler place or a place which is much more convenient for you. And then once you gain the confidence, you go to other places that is really much better compared to the first one. So in that way, you are gaining the confidence of sharing the content of different places. You just start with the most the simplest place or the most accessible place. So something like that. We really have to start with the most simple or the simplest solution so that the whole goal or objective can be much more manageable. So with that one, we will discuss tomorrow about the environment. So again, the example will be the internet access because it it also contributes to the challenge of delivering content, the environment, especially now, like this one. So the signal is breaking, even if the bandwidth, the overall bandwidth is good. So I think it's really with the Bluetooth connection. There's a problem there. I am just used to using Bluetooth because I can go anywhere. So I am not restricted to just be sitting here. So that's why I am using Bluetooth. I can stand up, I can go to the main computer because I'm using right now only the tablet. So that is why I am using Bluetooth. Because if I will use a headset or something that has wires, so it can limit me to go from one place to another. Because eventually, I want to like for example, I want to I want to I, I want to move from time to time. So something like this. So if I have Bluetooth on my ears, so it will be easier for me to do to move from time to time. So I think you can do this also. Like for example, if there are times that you are busy, like for example, you need to cook, but you need to blog, or if you need to do other things at the same time, do some blogging or do some social media activity, you can do it. So something like that. So that is why I'm using Bluetooth because I can move freely. Okay. So basically that's all for tonight. I am just going to give you page reviews and then continuously engage with your content. And then tomorrow, see you again. Thank you for watching and dropping by. And have a good night, everyone.